Oh, hey guys, I'm in Eastwood Park. I'm not sure if this is Dayton or Riverside, but there's a series of lakes in the rivers north of Dayton that were built after the flood of 1926 for the purpose of flood control, but it also regulates the water supply of Dayton. I chose this location because it has to do with water, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the water board. I heard something today that was just something you just have to laugh at. You know, the National Guard's been going around handing out water and water filters to address the lead water crisis. And apparently they've been dropping some off at vacant houses. And I guess they just gotta, they gotta do what they gotta do and accept some waste, because they need to get filters in the hands of people and clean water into the hands of people. But it is something like 15% of the homes in Clarksburg are vacant. So there could end up being a lot of waste here. And a couple weeks ago, the president of the water board was saying that, when we get done looking at our records, we're going to have this fantastic spreadsheet. The point is you've had decades to prepare for this. All this stuff should be in a relational database, and you should just be able to look up, or ideally a geographic database, and just look up, which homes have lead service lines, and then compare which homes are actually active customers that have used water in the last 6 months. But we don't have that. And Dayton in the 1920s was a city of beautiful things, and yet some pretty ugly things. It was on the bleeding edge of technology. The airplane was invented here. Some of the earliest computers were built here. Atomic research. A lot of the innovations around the automobile, such as the electric starter, things like that, were all being innovated and made in Dayton. But at the same time, they had a ward system, and workers would show up sick because one street had good water, good sewer, and another street didn't. And goods, they couldn't move their goods around because one street would be paved and the other one didn't. It all operated on a favoritism system, or who got to the ward boss first, or what the ward boss's feelings were. And the businessmen just said enough, and Dayton became the second city in the United States to have a council manager form of government. They hired a businessman who understood project management, business management techniques to run the city. And disease rates plummeted. And all these, there was just a burst of improvement in the city of Dayton. Clarksburg at one time was much better run than it is today. And I'm not intending this to be entirely an attack on the current council or the current manager. I'm just saying that over the course of the last couple of decades, maybe 3 decades, however long, we've atrophied to the point that our city government functions on about the level of a town the size of West Milford or Salem. I have cousins on the town council of West Milford. This is not an attack on them. I'm just saying that a city the size of Clarksburg, with the resources that Clarksburg have, should have much more capacity to address the issues it has. But we don't even have the capacity to know the issues we have. And I don't know where we go from here, but we have to start demanding better of our government and refusing to back down and accept mediocrity. I'll holler at you later.